Well, let me explain by taking you back to the start, where it all began. Myth's online presence can be traced back to November 2013, when he would create his current YouTube channel at the age of 14.
That's an early
As with
days.
most gaming creators at the time, he would begin by posting low-quality Minecraft and Call of Duty videos. However, his content would see huge improvements over the next few years, and by 2016, Myth had began streaming on Twitch and uploading the highlights to his YouTube channel. Around this period, streaming was far less normalized, and was a laughable career option in the eyes of the mainstream. But despite this,
Minecraft and COD are still
becoming a successful streamer,
still big
and
for
was
streaming.
putting in a serious amount of time and effort at an incredible consistency, streaming almost
12-hour
every
streams
single day, often for over 5 hours straight,
Okay,
all
that's not
while
bad.
still attending high school and working at a coffee shop. But Myth's hard work would pay off quickly, and by November 2016, he was streaming to an average audience of 50 live viewers. During this period, Myth's
surprisingly
streams
good
were
on
focused
Twitch.
almost entirely around one game, Paragon. Despite there being a vast plethora of games with
If you have 56 viewers, you are in the top 1% of Twitch, basically.
far higher viewership potential on YouTube and Twitch, Myth would continue to dedicate himself to Paragon, and for the next 10 months would essentially play nothing but this game on his streams. However, his
He found a
loyalty to
niche.
Paragon would prove to reap little rewards in terms of growth.
That's
as
the
by
thing with streaming, find your
mid-2017,
niche,
Myth
right?
was still averaging around the same viewers as the year before. Things were starting to look less optimistic for the young streamer. That was until September 2017, when Myth would make a decision that would change his life forever, when he would finally take a chance on a game other than Paragon and turned his attention to a new release slowly gaining traction in the gaming community,
Yeah.
Fortnite Battle Royale.
If you hate applying to
The
jobs,
accidental
this is
battle
going to
royale,
change
that-
your life. It's
the
called
main game was what
Perplexity
they built and
Computer. You
sold.
connect
The
your
battle
Gmail,
royale?
upload your res-
The Battle Royale was an accident.
Fortnite was somewhat similar to that of PUBG and H1Z1, two battle royale games that were extremely popular and topping the charts on Twitch at the time. However, Fortnite gave a fresh take on the genre, moving away from what could be considered a mature art style and gameplay to a more wholesome aesthetic with bright colors, high saturation,
Wholesome, but
cartoon-style
with
character
guns, right?
models, and dancing. Initially,
Yeah.
after Fortnite's release, many gamers
The dancing
and streamers were
and
quick to
skins.
write the game off, seeing it as a goofy PUBG knockoff made for kids. And with the game being free to play, it cast doubt on the quality of the product. After all, in 2017, it was extremely rare for a free game to have any long-term substance or success. But whilst the vast majority of streamers and players were sleeping on Fortnite, Myth was there on day one of release and streaming the game to his audience. And after his first Fortnite stream on 12th of September 2017, he would continue to play and stream Fortnite for many, many hours every single day. And let's just say being an early adopter and believer in the game would prove to be a stroke of genius.
Yep.
Myth was putting in far more hours than 99.9% of players, consistently streaming over 8 hours every day.
That's
and would
that's
quickly
where I
become
remember
one
seeing
of the
him.
highest skilled players on Fortnite. Whilst it would take most players weeks, if not months, to get just one single win on the game, after only 5 days of playing, Myth had won an absurd 22 games. A feat so impressive that even the official Fortnite Twitter page took notice and would shout out his Twitch stream. For context, getting
That's
a win
hard.
in Fortnite was no easy task, with 100 players competing in each game to become
You'd be
the
lucky
last man
to get 2 to
standing
3
in a world where
in a
one
day.
single shotgun bullet or sniper shot can defeat you. There was a lot of room for failure. A win on the game was in fact so special at the time that players would post pictures to their social media accounts, flexing the now iconic Victory Royale screen. Getting just one win was an achievement, but Myth was making it look like a walk in the park. And only one
Man,
day
at that
after
time,
the
it was
shout-out from
Fortnite was super.
Myth had increased his win count.
Wow, it's 30. At that time, Fortnite was super competitive. Like you would drop, and they didn't have ranked, so you would drop in, and it'd be like everyone was a pro player, right? And you just get obliterated, and it was just like it was rough. So people would start landing way off into the side, way off the map, and start getting weapons and stuff just to last long enough in a round because they knew they were going to get killed, but at least they were like hanging out, right, and doing their dances or whatever. Because you had pro players just dropping in with you.
By 8, reaching 30 victory royales. The same day, Myth would begin uploading highlights of his gameplay to YouTube, including a video of him dropping 20 kills in one single game. This level of skill
I've done
was
that. I
incomprehensible.
got close to 30
Most players
in one
would
round.
be lucky to get 1 kill. Meanwhile, Myth was taking out an entire
He's
fifth
got to bait
of the
people
lobby
in.
himself. It was beginning to look like Myth could actually be the best Fortnite player in the world. However,
The easiest way is they had the hand cannon. It was like a 50 cal pistol, and the pistol you just scoped it in with the iron sights. And all you had to do was put the dot on the person. As long as you had it on them, because it was a 50 cal like hand cannon, it was OP'd, right? It would one shot kill him like a sniper. So you walked around with that, and you were just taking people out in one shot. And it was way easier to aim with because you had iron sights. You didn't have to scope. You just put the dot on them on the screen. Super easy.
this time, Fortnite was still yet to gain
They
considerable
fixed that
traction
since.
and popularity, which was reflected in Myth's streaming stats. As despite his elite level of gameplay, his stream would see a fairly little amount of growth after his transition.
Not a lot of
away
people
from
knew that
Paragon,
too, so it
and
was
he was
great.
still averaging
I
around
was just
50 to 75
having fun with it.
concurrent viewers per stream. That was until November, when with a stroke of luck and random chance, Myth would end up in the same Fortnite game as one of the biggest streamers on Twitch.
Now you got to try to use a
Summit
proper like
1G.
sniper.
With no idea he was coming up against one of the biggest streamers in the world, who was streaming live to over 15,000 people, Myth would aggressively approach, outbuild, and outplay Summit. This was not normal, and people were taking notice. Soon after the game, Myth would upload a clip of him outplaying Summit to YouTube, and it would quickly become his most viewed video yet.
Dethrone
Viewers
someone?
were in
Yeah,
awe
that's
at
gonna.
Myth's ability,
You're gonna get
especially
some
that of his
followers
building
for that.
skill. And with him topping the leaderboards as the player with the most
Absolutely.
solo PC wins, Myth was certainly making a name for himself
The music is
amongst the
relaxing
small
on this.
Fortnite community. And following the video where he would destroy Summit, Myth would upload a series of building tutorials, which would perform far greater than the rest of his YouTube content. There was no doubt in the community that Myth was
He was
best builder
best
in
builder
the
at
game.
the time.
And considering that Fortnite's
By a
unique
lot.
selling point was building, it was a huge title to hold.
He would
All of
actually,
this led to
between
a
two surfaces, would
considerable
ride the
rise in
corners and just
viewership
build like
on Myth's
da-da-da-da-da.
Twitch channel. And for
And
the
his
month
technique,
of November
I remember watching this.
2017, he would average
He'd actually build and then flip the
179
cursor just up a
concurrent
notch,
viewers
and then
per
just
stream,
build a whole
double that of the
structure
last month.
in under
The
like a
following
split
month of
second.
December
Not even a
was when
second.
Fortnite really started to pick up pace.
Just kind
in
of
terms
wiggled the
popularity.
mouse around and
And thanks to
built
Myth's
it. It was
prolonged
crazy.
commitment to the game, his stream would begin to blow up. December
You
1st,
couldn't do that on the console. You
142
needed a
live
mouse for
average
that.
viewers. December 2nd, 332 viewers. Myth had doubled his average viewers in just one day, but things would get even better when once again, Myth would find himself in a Fortnite lobby with Summit. And when the two players would eventually encounter one another, they would have a 1v1 battle that would go down in Fortnite history. Summit would notice a base at the top of a hill. Little did he know Myth was the one waiting inside. Summit then decides to aggressively build upwards towards the base, ready to engage.
No cover,
But instead of Myth sitting idly like the majority of players would, he starts building at incredible speed.
Which like 8-year-olds do now on Fortnite, which is crazy.
He keeps building higher.
Like you'll literally see
Stop building so high!
little kids doing
Stop it.
this, and it's like, man, I can't keep up. It is insane.
Is this guy a... What? What's happening? What just happened?
Yeah, he did the quick edit, shoot, edit to take a wall out like he's doing. Dude,
He built the... He kept building up and building up and building up, and I couldn't catch him. 1,400...
Ridge is back with our 6th annual sweepstakes. With prizes so epic, we needed a spokesperson to match.
These are pretty
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
You can win a Lamborghini, souped up trucks, or
Yeah, those were fun to
$100,000
watch
cash.
especially when they were new. Like it was exciting.
How did that man shotgun me?
That was a
down beneath
reckoning
like that?
for
Did
him.
you see that?
Good fight, Summit. I like that.
I've never seen that strategy used.
It's a reckoning, sir.
I've never seen that strategy.
You've been dethroned.
You can tell he's a good player. I've never seen that strategy used where when someone's trying to get into your base, you just keep building up, keep building up, keep building up. That was impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
For the second time, Myth had completely outplayed one of the biggest streamers in the world. This kind of building gameplay was not normal. And of all the thousands of viewers in Summit's stream who witnessed the fight, the same question was likely going through their minds. Who
At one point,
is this
okay,
Myth
it's-
guy, and how is
Yeah,
he so good
TSM.
at the game?
Are they even
And
still
it was
around?
no coincidence that soon after this moment, Myth's stream would begin to grow even faster. December 16th, 570
I never did
viewers.
Fortnite on PC.
December 24th,
I'm gonna try it,
1,000
man.
viewers.
I've always
December
just played on
26th,
console.
2,000 viewers. December 28th,
There's those 12-hour streams.
3,000 live average viewers. Myth had multiplied his viewers over 20x in the space of 1 month.
2017,
And whilst many
12-hour
streamers
streams
would
were
slow down their
extremely
streaming
normal.
over the holidays, he was grinding an average of 10 hours every day. And it was working. As Myth's Twitch was skyrocketing to huge heights, more fuel would be added to the fire. When a random viewer would post a clip from Myth's stream, that would take the internet by storm. The video was titled "Insane Build Fight, I'm the Myth," and would quickly go viral, gaining over 1 million views. In the clip, Myth could be seen in an intense build battle against another player.